Warning. The following podcast is utter nonsense and may cause agoraphobia, kleptomania, insomnia, and oppositional defiance disorder. We are required by law to provide you with this disclaimer for hazardous materials.
Welcome back to Hazardous Materials, high-octane human food. I'm Gideon Gonzalez, and with me, as always,
Casey Johnson. And this time, we're going to be talking about our top three, personal top three each, forgotten DC or Marvel heroes who we would like to see come back.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdos that I miss dearly and haven't been getting a lot of love from the publishers, and I hope that we can get those numbers back up.
Now, of course, some of these is going to be completely impossible. I can guarantee at least one person on my list is not coming back unless some legality is ironed out.
Oh, I'm going to die on a hill for all of these characters to come back. Do it, you cowards. So did you want to start? Or?
I will start off,
All right.
and my number one I would love to see more of, and he was back briefly long before the Guardians of the Galaxy really spiked, and it's my man Bug from the Micronauts.
Oh, I loved Bug in DNA's Guardians. He was so good.
Yeah, there was a period when Marvel was trying to figure out what they were going to do with the new Guardians of the Galaxy, and they gave them all uniforms and everything like that. They had Rocket Raccoon,
And it ruled.
and they had Bug, and Bug was in there, and then the movie came out, and Bug disappeared.
Because they don't fully own him.
Well, they do.
Mhm.
There's certain things in the Micronauts, things like Baron Karza and everything like that, they don't own, but like Marionette and Bug, they own completely.
Bizarre. Are those characters that were created in-house at Marvel versus characters that were hoisted upon them by Hasbro?
Yeah, they never made toys of Marionette or Bug.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they've still got them. But Bug was like an alien Nightcrawler.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude. He was fast talking.
And
I always kind of read him with Bruce Campbell's voice in mind.
Yeah, and he always had a particular tick, specifically tick, in the middle of his dialogue. It would tick, and he'd say something, tick,
Because he's a bug.
tick. And I would love to hear what audibly that actually sounds like. And I think that if Marvel had continued to use him, he could have actually been in the movie.
Yeah, would have been cool.
I mean, that seems like something that James Gunn would love to have done.
Hey, maybe in Guardians 3. So my number 3
Okay.
is the most powerful being in the DC universe.
I can only wonder.
I'm, of course, referring to the mightiest member of the Superman family, Beppo the Super Chimp.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to go for the horse, but
No.
no, you just pulled the chimp out of
Let
nowhere.
me explain.
Okay.
Hey, okay, first off, I love monkeys, so I love
Yes.
apes of all shapes.
Very strange person.
I love them, love Beppo, love the Silver Age Superman mythos. But here's the thing. Now, Superman, we can agree, one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe, right?
Yes.
Like in terms of sheer strength, probably maybe the strongest. Now, a chimp is magnitude stronger than a man.
Oh, I see where you're going with
So
this.
it bears reasoning that a chimp from Krypton, when exposed to Earth's yellow sun, would become exponentially stronger than Superman.
Exponentially.
Exactly. He should be like, Beppo could rip Superman's arm off. I'll say it. Maybe that's why he hasn't been seen in so long. He's too powerful. We don't
You
know how
think
to
they
stop him.
phantom zone Beppo?
I think they did. I think one day, like many chimps in captivity, Superman brought a visitor home to the Fortress of Solitude and was like, here's all my super pets. They're all cool.
Oh
and
my
Beppo
God.
didn't like one of them, and he tore their face off.
And that was the end of that.
That was it. Yeah, it's like we got to
No
go.
one comes back from the Kryptonian face rep.
Oh, man, I'm trying to think of a superhero that hasn't been seen in a while that I could say.
Or a
that's the
superhero
one.
that could withstand the Kryptonian face rep.
Exactly. Let's say Maxima. Oh, no, I've seen Maxima recently.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of a superpowered character.
Mon-El.
Mon-El, there we go.
Yeah.
That's
Throw
why
a
we don't
Dax
see,
in my
that's why I don't see
everything.
Mon-El anymore. He got
Yeah.
his face ripped off by a space chimp.
Oh my God,
We
Mon-El.
had to put it in the Phantom Zone for our own safety.
You know my absolute love for B versions of A-list characters?
Mhm.
I loved Mon-El
Man.
growing up because I was a big Legion fan.
Yeah.
And Mon-El was kind of like my version of Superman.
The guy in the red jammies.
Yeah,
And
I
the
liked his
blue
outfit.
S.
Yeah. I didn't
Well-
like the Superman version where he was like the blue S up here because it's like there's nothing else going on with the rest of his
Yeah.
outfit.
Well, I'm sorry that your boy Mon-El got his face torn off by
Beppo.
Beppo the Super Chimp. I have his action figure, by the way. Spend $50 on it.
I wonder if maybe when Beppo was put into the Phantom Zone, they also put Mon-El so they could alleviate his pain. So
That's my
faceless
headcanon
Mon-El
now.
sees his abuser every single day in the lands of the Phantom Zone,
Beppo just like standing in the corner doing like angry chimp eyes at
just
him.
vibrating.
I will be free. Apes together strong.
I have a feeling that this is probably never going to end, and that Beppo is going to come back at least a couple more
That's
times.
what I'm waiting for. That should be the next DC event is Beppo Unchained. Just like, he's back, baby.
I really wish I had something good to back that up. No, granted, what I've got here...
There's no evidence that I'm wrong.
There isn't. I mean, exponentially, you've got the math backs it. Unless we're talking about batteries and size, then, Superman got it.
He's got those coiled arms.
So we're back into my court. We're on for number 2, and this is the one where I don't think we're ever going to see it unless Disney flexes its super arm. And that's goddamn Rom the Space Night.
When you said a matter of legality, I was like, it's going to be Rom.
It's going to be Rom the Space Knight. I loved Rom as the Space Knight. I bought the first issue when it came out. I bought every issue after that. I was in love with this. You know of my love of the Space Knight, so this should be an easy one. But right now, Hasbro is so powerful that they've got plenty of their own money. They got FU money the way Disney has FU money. So they don't need Disney's money. They can have their own universe, and IDW can keep making Rom comics and completely failing at it because apparently only Marvel can do a Rom comic and let it go the 9 yards.
We'll see. Who knows?
And here's also the thing, because Marvel and DC don't have the license on this, there's a lot of issues that they can never reprint. There's team-ups that they can't go through. There's X-Men titles that they can't deal with.
Dire Wraiths were all over that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the major a B-level superhero in Marvel died in a Rom comic, and you can never see that because it was
who died in Rom?
Torpedo.
Oh. Yeah, that's how you got me there.
Yeah, Torpedo got the old drill in the back of the head with the Dire Wraith, and that was the end of him. And well, that's really the end of him.
Well, we legally can't bring him back, so
yeah. I mean, you're never gonna be able to see that comic reprinted.
Yeah.
And since they lost the license on this very early, there has never been a trade paperback of Rom Space Knight.
And those issues are stupid expensive now.
Yeah.
Like, they really blew up in the last year.
Yeah, I actually saw a guy online who I guess was handy with crafts, and he made his own trade paperback of all the ROMs.
The custom bind ROMs are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It made me want to throw money at it until I realized how much was going to get involved.
Yeah, it's...
Because ROM number 1 is not a joke.
It is a very pricey book now.
No.
So, my number 2 is a character I've got a ton of love for. This is a serious one. This isn't anything silly like Beppo. I'm referring to Black Panther's greatest enemy, his adopted half-brother, Hunter, the White Wolf. And I ring this bell every time it comes up. I hate that they call Bucky White Wolf because it feels like that eliminates the chance of having Hunter introduced.
Well, maybe Hunter can take the role that Casper Cole took.
Probably not, though, because Hunter's a villain, and that's what makes him so fun.
Well, Casper Cole was an anti-hero.
Yeah, but he wasn't trying to overthrow the throne like Hunter.
No.
So Hunter is a kind of a satirical bend on old Great White Hunter, hence his name.
Yeah.
He is a white guy whose family died, and he was adopted by T'Chaka, and before T'Challa was born. So he was next in line to be king as the king's adopted son. Well, king gets a firstborn son, and Hunter gets the head of the Wakandan FBI gig, the White Wolves.
Yeah.
It's the Haphazard, I think is what they're called. It's like
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
And I've got hero clicks with them all over it, and I can never pronounce it.
I love those guys. I love an evil opposite villain.
Yeah.
That's my jam. Bizarro's my favorite supervillain ever. So
you like evil opposites as much as I like B levels of the A levels.
Yeah. So he has got the all-white version of the Black Panther outfit. He's got his goons in that same outfit, and they got sick little night vision goggles. And I love it. The last time he showed up, I'm pretty sure, was in the David Liss Black Panther most dangerous man alive series. He was covering for Daredevil,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a one shot in that run where he's going around killing the people that T'Challa had saved throughout the series. And he's like, this is my vengeance towards you, brother. Like, whatever good you do, I will make sure to even it out. And then he just hasn't been seen in a decade. And just with how much Black Panther has blown up in the past few years, I really think there's a ton of potential in that character to bring him back.
I really strained with this last one, and so much so that I'm even going to go with my first runner-up, because he was definitely in contention. Before I get to number one, my first runner-up is the Shroud. Are you familiar with the Shroud?
Yeah, supervillain team up.
Yes. He was also the leader of the Dance Macabre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, last time I saw him was probably about a decade ago in Mark Waid's Daredevil.
He was also a Spider-Woman villain / hero, because his teammates all came from Spider-Woman's Rogues Gallery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because for a long time she was a horror comic, because they didn't know what to write with her. They didn't know what to do with her.
Were those, I don't remember what their name is, but those little skeleton bros.
Oh, the Brothers Grimm.
Are those Spider-Woman villains?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Straight out of it. Brothers Grimm, Daddy Longlegs, Digger. Actually, the woman called Dance Macabre.
They're all they're all San Fran based, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because they popped up. Because I know Shroud.
Tatterdemalion.
Because Shroud popped up in Daredevil when he moved to San Francisco, and I remember seeing the rest of the Dance Macabre show up in Superior Spider-Man when he moved to San Francisco.
You know what? Dance Macabre was the name of the woman dancer. They were actually called the Night Shift.
The Night Shift. That makes more sense, because I don't
Yes.
remember them being called that, but I'll take your
It
word
was
for
it was surprising just how many people Jessica pulled together as a group of her own Rogues Gallery, because her first series only ran 50 issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she built it up.
And her last issue was that photo shot. I don't know if you ever saw that.
It is, yeah. That's one of the few issues of Spider-Woman that I see regularly come in at work.
Yeah.
I think of those photo covers, it's the weakest one.
That aside, him being, I had to figure out who was going to be my number one. And even though a version of this has popped in the animated series, my number one is White Tiger. And I'm talking about the first White Tiger that was done in hardcore in a Daredevil issue.
Very intense.
This was a character that was actually started off during the kung fu trend of comics that happened right around the time that the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu and Iron Fist came out, which is like 1975. And the first maybe 5 issues of Deadly Hands Kung Fu had Shang-Chi as the headliner, and had this B-list of White Tiger, which was a Puerto Rican superhero that had the amulets of power that gave him Kung Fu. You know, back then with 70s when Kung Fu was magic. And magic Kung Fu.
Magic.
I just thought he was cool. I mean, he was a rather unremarkable character as far as his design, but that was because he was in a black and white comic, and I guess they just wanted to keep him very, very simple. He was all white, except he had like buccaneer gloves and strap boots, and everything else was white. There was been a couple of spinoffs on this one. His niece became White Tiger, and she had this V-neck thing, but then she died and became the Hand, and then that was the end of that. And then his sister came about, and she was White Tiger up until I think an Avengers Academy issue or something like that, where she lost the amulet and she basically became depowered, so there's just like no White Tiger. And she was used in the animated series, but I just think that the original really needs his day back in the sun, because he was wrongly accused for a murder because he showed up at a robbery at the wrong time trying to save these people. And somebody got shot, and the real culprit got away, but then the cops showed up and they blamed it on him, and Daredevil tried to defend him, and he still got the guilty verdict. And he's like, well, you know what? You said the system was going to save me, but the system didn't help me. And he runs out of the courtroom and he gets gunned down by police, and that's the end.
It's a bummer.
It is a bummer. And it's a serious bummer. It's something that's always bugged me ever since those issues. And granted, you know, you've had these subsequent White Tigers, but it's not the core guy, and the core guy, he needs some kind of redemption. And I know he got shot dead, but this is comics. And he had magical
You
powers.
can say
at
he's
once.
into Amulet or whatever.
I mean, Flash Thompson came back recently. Give me back my boy Ayala. So that's my number one. Now, the number ones I was kind of thinking about was like Madcap. I thought Madcap would be interesting.
He's been getting a lot of love, though.
Yeah.
As a Deadpool villain mostly now, but
yeah.
he still gets play.
But let's hear what you have.
So, mine's not going to be a surprise.
Is it Metamorpho?
It's Metamorpho. I was pausing for the theme song there.
We could do that.
Exactly.
Easily. We'd edit that in.
So, my boy Metamorpho, one of the greatest looks in comics, created by one of the industry's greatest artists, Ramona Fradon. He's too cool looking to ever truly go away. He'll always pop up in group shots and stuff. But he hasn't had a solo book in quite a while. I think the last one was a Dan Jurgens, Aaron Lopresti joint in a Legends of Tomorrow anthology, which was fine, but I don't know. There's never been a modern Metamorpho story. Terrific's got the closest. Terrific's was really close to what I wanted, where it embraces the madcap absurdity of those original Fradon Haney issues. And because that's might be my favorite Silver Age comic. It's just so bonkers and silly and directly, and Bob Haney just beating Stan Lee at his own Carnival Barker game, just going all in on cover blurbs, and the letters columns were all in character as Metamorpho. And I want that just goofy delightfulness. I want a story where he can stop Galactus by shredding on an electric guitar.
Does this sound like he has a definite Doom Patrol vibe?
He would honestly fit in really well.
I think so.
I'm shocked they've never really teamed up.
Now, when I was a kid, I loved Black Lightning.
Mhm.
And so I read the Batman and Outsiders. And that's how I got exposed to Metamorpho. And he was in that team for a very long time.
He went the distance with him.
So I got to know Metamorpho really well.
And I think he's popped up recently in I think the Batman Urban Legends had an Outsider story. And I want to say he was in it, but it wasn't a lot. It was just like a couple quick panels of him doing.
I want to say that I've seen an Outsiders revival recently. They even had Halo in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really mad that I think the last major thing he was in Doomsday Clock. They were saying that it was like, oh, he was created by the government. I'm like, leave it to Jeff Johns to take a Silver Age origin and make it boring and stupid. My man, Rex Mason, adventurer. He went to get the Staff of Ra. It turned him into the Fab Freak of 1001 Changes.
Mm-hmm.
And he is bound to serve whoever holds the rod. So he is the most powerful security guard /
He's a golem.
yeah, basically. And he's got to go fight Java, that caveman.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I knew that he was like magical of some sort,
Mhm.
or like maybe some alien stone. That's usually the other go-to for this kind of stuff. But yeah, I would agree. Turning him into something government is like that's dull. That's mundane.
But yeah, have him hang out with the Hawks. They do Egypt stuff.
Yeah,
That's their realm. Have him meet Dr. Fate. Like,
now, I had a runner-up. Who was your runner-up?
my runner-up, I had a honorable mention who has been getting too much love lately for me to call him a forgotten character, but I'm delighted by it. It's Connor Hawke, Green Arrow of my childhood.
Yeah.
I love him to pieces, and he is a major part of Robin right now, and I'm very happy that he is colored with the proper shade, because it really, really bothers me when they just draw him as a goatee-less Oliver, because he is black and Korean, and he should look it. He should not just look exactly like his dad.
You know, I was while we were doing this, and this is kind of a footnote, I was actually thinking about what would be a villain that I have not seen in a long time that was really important to me. And for me, it was the Foreigner from Spider-Man. But he's been part of that Silver Sable storyline recently. So it's like the comics have brought the Foreigner back.
Yeah.
And when I was reading, I was like, oh, wow, my Foreigner's back. So I was really excited about that.
When do I get the Commuter back?
the Commuter?
Oh, my favorite Peter David Spider-Man issue.
I was unaware of this.
The Commuter is a low-time burglar who, as his name suggests, commutes to New York from the suburbs.
That just sounds like an inconvenient name.
So he kind of like stumbles through his robbery and's like, no, Spider-Man's coming for me. So Spider-Man's like, I'm going to chase him down. I'm going to get him. For whatever reason, Pete gets really like a big bug up his butt about it.
Yeah.
And so it's just Spider-Man going through the humiliation conga of life in the suburbs where he can't web sling. Like they stole some bits from it for
I have seen the Spider-Man in
Homecoming.
suburbs kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a great comedy issue and I adore it. I think Al Milgrom drew that one, but I might be wrong on that one.
You know, actually playing in the Spider-Man video game, you kind of get that vibe because, you know, you get to go around New York and trying to cross Central Park is that problem. There's no buildings.
Yeah. The Ultimate Spider-Man game from about probably 15 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Queens is available in it, and it is a pain to traverse.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
But yeah, those are our forgotten heroes and villains that we would love to see make
kind
a
of a
return.
little mishmash. I would love to see your boy return as much as I would love to see a proper White Tiger headline book.
And maybe someday Rom will have his time in the sun again.
I want to see Rom visit his boys again.
He will get to do a little jog cover with Power Man and Iron Fist.
As long as Ditko's dead, so I guess there's no chance of him ruining that one.
Have you ever seen so Steve Ditko famously would answer any letter sent to him? And there was a guy who's like, hey, I really loved Rom Space Night. That was my favorite book as a kid.
I really love cashing that check.
Exactly. He was just like, that was a gig for me. I didn't really care for Rom.
No, and he actually he had ended up drawing a bunch of other garbage. I think he did like Visionaries or something like that. Some kid book.
The man had principles. I didn't necessarily agree with him, but he had them, and he was he wouldn't say no to a job.
No, he did Machine Man back when Machine Man was up against his nemesis, Madam Menace.
Master of Subtleties.
Yeah.
Steve Ditko. So that's our favorites. Let us know below who you want to see come back. Are they heroes? Are they villains?
Oh
Who do you
yeah,
want to see
list
go
us your
away?
stuff.
Yeah.
There's bound to be a crap load of stuff.
There's
we
good
didn't think of.
content there. Give us a little subscribe. Ring it a ding ding that bell. Go like us on the Facebook and the Insta and all of our other socials. Give us some money on Patreon. Maybe we can make some content there. Who's to say? We'll see you all next time.